just need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen.
Why men have given up on women?
If women made the first move, there would be more marriages and less complaints.
You may feel like you never get approached or that men never pursue you. Could be this one perspective shift.
Guys are scared to talk to girls now. Even if they see someone, they might not want to approach you.
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore, and she's so right.
Men have just given women exactly what they wanted. There's no going back. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
If you treat a good man like a secondary option, but you expect his loyalty, that man is going to be gone. But the crazy thing is that you're going to think that he played you, but he didn't, because he just instantly lost attraction.
Guys are scared to talk to girls now. Even if they see someone, they might not want to approach you. I'm
going to say something super controversial, and you do not have to agree with it. But first and foremost, men don't go up to women anymore because you guys call them pervy, weirdo, and all this stuff. And you guys scream at the top of your lungs you hate men. So if men aren't approaching you, I can see why. Another thing, I also believe it's the way that you present yourself and how you carry yourself. A lot of you women in real life are really bitchy. I've seen you guys. You have like a stick up your ass, the way that you guys look, the way that you act, and the way that you carry yourselves. I get approached 24/7 to the point where sometimes it's a little bit too much, even at the gym. But I also think it's because I'm always smiling and I'm very bubbly. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the hottest because I'm not. But I'm sorry, I still get approached by dudes when girls say, oh, men don't approach us and they're scared of this and that. Probably scared of you and probably don't want you because I get approached 24/7. I don't struggle with that one bit.
I just need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me. Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're like making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something. How are you not gonna say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days? I feel like there's so many like times that guys want to say something to girls and they don't. Like, is there a guy watching this that can give us some insight? Like, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do it? Are you scared? Are you waiting for her to say something first? I like my men to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me. I'll give you the opportunity. I'll put my phone down. I'll drop the handkerchief. But I'm not gonna do it first. Should that not just be like the standard? Am I tripping? Like, tell me if I'm tripping. Let me know.
Really just a stupid question. I think current culture has basically guaranteed that normal men aren't approaching women. Being rejected as a guy is something we just get used to over time. It gets to the point where we don't even try anymore because the outcome is always the same. Not trying to get embarrassed over trying to spark a conversation or have their friends talking in their ear, or get called a creep, or ghosted, or have someone that sees themselves as a prize, rather than just focusing on getting to know each other. Before I got in a relationship, I think the fear of making someone uncomfortable by approaching them in public settings because of social media. Some men are just tired of the games and probably do want you, but they probably think all the bullshit they went through from past relationships that we just prefer peace. If men aren't approaching it, just means the single life is peaceful and they would like to keep it that way. But these days, if a man has to approach a woman, the feelings has got to be mutual.
I would be 100% in favor of women initiating. But the fact of the matter is that women don't have to. And women, quite frankly, don't. If a woman goes to a bar or club, one guy, at least one guy, a couple guys are going to hit on her. If a guy goes to a bar or club, just goes in the corner, right? Nobody's going to talk to him the entire fucking night. He's going to sit there, stand there, all alone.
The reason why so many women are treating dating like a hustle and are only out for monetary gain and luxury experiences is because when situationships became a thing, that really dehumanized dating and it became an emotionally unfulfilling experience for women. So if you're going to waste my time, I might as well gain something. Thank you.
The rise of feminine men has led to masculine women. Let me explain. When men don't approach women in public places like coffee shops, it forces women to drop into one of two roles. The first role is she's just gonna sit there and she's going to succumb to her singledom because she doesn't want to be the man and approach you if she thinks you may potentially be interested in her. The second role is her stepping into the role that the guy is usually supposed to, her asking you out. And this is definitely happening more. I see more women asking out more men than ever before in my friend groups and clients, etc. But the thing is, men, that women don't want to ask you out because courtship and approaching are typically things that gentlemen do. And the worst thing that you can do as a guy is force a woman to act like a man.
So we'll mutually walk away and stay single. Problem solved. Good day, madam. We were told to not approach women. That we're creeps if we do. It's the job of gentlemen to court. That's what she say, and it's true. However, a gentleman needs a lady to court, and genuine ladies have nearly gone extinct. By and large, it's not that men don't court anymore, it's that there are too few ladies worthy of that kind of effort. We don't want to end up online as a creep coming up to you, so we stop chasing.
I've just discovered the reason why it's so hard to find a good guy dating in 2023. And it's not because there aren't any left and that all men are disgusting and all men are trash. That is completely false, no matter what you hear from other girls on TikTok. The truth is that the good guys are done with dating. They would rather be single and have their peace than be in a relationship and not be treated correctly. They're done playing the games, okay? Girls not being monogamous, them not texting them back, them giving them mixed signals, them opening up and sharing their feelings, and then a girl breaking up with them. They don't want to deal with that. They'd rather work a lot, go home, play some video games, watch a movie, and spend time with their dog or themselves than ever have to deal with women. I just want to know. I just want to know which one of you ladies messed it up for everyone, because dating out here is so hard.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen. Guys in the comments, back me up on this. We have told men for years that their masculinity is toxic. Some men, as they got interested in dating, that's literally all they know, is to stay away from women, is to not bother them, and definitely don't approach them. So there is nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man. That shows confidence. And you know what? I don't even know if this stat is true. I didn't do much research into this, but I did see that 86% of women who make the first move end up married. So, I mean, come on, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't even care if that's not even a true statistic. Hell, let's run with that. But guys, back me up in the comments. Say, yeah, you would love that. Or women say, yeah, I made the first move and I'm now engaged, married, whatever. I'm telling you, that's just the way it's got to be. You don't have to like it. I mean, I'm sure guys didn't like when they were being called, when their masculinity, when their whole being was called toxic. They didn't like that. So start making the first move. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like having to make the first move. You could still have a traditional relationship after that. This is just getting you in a damn relationship. And as far as, you know, not liking things, I do things every day that I don't like to do, but it makes me a better person. Gets me to my goals. So these are just facts, okay? Women, make the first move.
I stopped dating 20 years ago. I'm done dating. Peace is well worth being alone. Ladies don't understand. The first move can be subtle, but blinking isn't going to cut it. They don't necessarily have to approach, but they have to make themselves approachable by making eye contact, smiling. Even a simple hi can make it so much obvious for us to approach. First move would be nice, I'm not sure anymore. Will I get yelled at and called all kinds of names just for saying hi? I'm tired of getting played like a board game. I decided 7 to 8 months ago that I wasn't making the first move. Only one lady has asked to meet up. Well, it gets harder to approach women. Each year it got so bad, I decided to rather just stay single for 14 years now, due to the ask to stay away or not needed. What women fail to understand is that 83% of women that makes the first move and approach a man ends up getting married. But to be honest, if a woman is approaching you today, you got to be wary of her. Because some of these women today are looking for a man to take care of them because life is getting tough. But truthfully, if women really wanted to get married, They have got to start approaching men. That is, unless their ego is stopping them from making the first move.
Why do pretty girls sometimes never get approached by guys?
I have an answer to this. It's not that guys don't want to approach a pretty girl, it's that they're afraid of being rejected by a pretty girl. In their minds, they think that they get approached a ton, which can be true depending on the girl, and they know that they most likely have a slim chance with her because she has a lot of options and she probably has a boyfriend. In their mind, of course. So majority of the times they're like, I'm not even gonna bother, I'm not even gonna say anything to her. Another reason can be that they're intimidated by the girl, or she looks high maintenance, like this girl was saying.
Incorrect. What's a green flag in a guy?
If you cancel on him and he doesn't care. If you cancel on him like last minute and he's just like whatever about it.
Give me an example. How would you react?
Like he'd be like, all right, it's fine. And he make plans right away for the next time.
What about you?
Canceling on men as a test, you know? My green flag is a deep voice.
So this woman is a red flag. What she's saying is that a green flag for him is that he accepts her red flags. If a woman cancels on you last minute and got you dressed up, you need to drop her. She doesn't respect you nor your time.
Ding, ding, ding! Ding, ding, ding! Right on the money! Right on the money! Thank you. Finally, a man gets it.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do, and just want somebody there when it's convenient for them, or, you know, for the things they want to do. Like, convince me I'm wrong.
In this day and age, you go out, you take a woman out, you do all these gentlemanly things, and then she ghosts you, disappears. It's a big joke. And I always tell guys, do these things, but do it for women who are going to appreciate it. Don't go out on a first date and be at the 5-star restaurant and all the fancy stuff. No, you don't do that on a first date with a woman. And if she needs you to bring the fancy on the first date, she doesn't like you.
Exactly. Trying to impress these women is a waste of time, energy, and money. If you try to impress her, someone else will try to step it up and try to impress her with something else. That's why the best thing you can be is yourself. The fancy dates are for the woman that you deem worthy of being with you. The woman that's there to uplift you and wants to grow together. That's the kind of woman you give that treatment to, not every woman you meet.
What happened to men not being afraid to come and talk to you in person? Like, I feel like I run into men all the time who will, like, say something to their homeboy or, like, say something, a compliment loud enough for me to hear, not directly speaking to me, but just so I can hear it so I can say thank you. And that's, like, their way of knowing if they can come and talk to me or not. And I remember when I was younger, like, I could be in a group of 20 girls and the guy would not care. He would come, part the Red Sea, and come and get my number. Like, what happened to that? Where did that get lost? Did it get lost because of these dating apps? Like, I've never been on a dating app and I will never be on one just because I just don't feel like my man is on there. I feel like my man is going to see me in person. He's not going to be afraid. He's going to come and talk to me. Right? So, like, am I doing something wrong? Or, like, is that over with? Are they just expecting us to come and talk to them? Like, are y'all going to approach them? Because hell would freeze over before I ever.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance, and my mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married, they would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her. And now they're married and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
Ask the bear. We put out the bare minimum. We can put in a 1000% effort, and you ladies will still say it's the bare minimum. When women decided they didn't want or need us anymore, rejection after rejection after rejection. You try it and see how you feel. When we were told we're not wanted, needed, desired, and told to stop pursuing. The laws have changed, making it dangerous for a guy to make a move that can cost him to face criminal charges. The men have put in way more than enough effort, and it got them nowhere. No man should have to keep being persistent to try and get a woman. If she was really interested, she would show the same interest. Being comfortable and single is something men have had to get used to. If these women want to be in their future, they're going to have to prove it. They can be miserable on their own.
You have to remember that no one flirts better than a woman that is not really that interested in you.
And we wonder why guys are just done with dating, because apparently now flirting means that she's not interested. Oh, but guys should be able to read body language and eye contact, as if that's any easier to decode.
Men, let me let you in on a little secret. You may not realize this, but you have more power than you know. So I want you to be more choosy. This aspect right here. Let's get into it. Remember, y'all, women love to be desired. They love attention. Attention is their currency. Attention is the drug. And a lot of y'all giving everybody attention, giving it out for free. No, be choosy about it, sir. It's your currency. Remember, our time is a limited resource. We don't know how much time we have, so don't give it away. If you give an attention, make sure it's worth it. Make sure it's to someone who actually values you. A woman that you actually want to be with long term. A woman that actually meets the standard. Don't just be giving that thing away for free. Women love attention. There's a lot of men giving it to them, and therefore reinforcing things that men say they don't want. So I urge you, men, be intentional about who and what you are giving your attention to.
Why am I seeing men on this app say, I don't chase, I attract?
Good for them, but I'm sure that one has something to say about that.
You're a man.
And?
That's like your only job.
Only job? Hardly. As if it's a man's sole purpose in life to pursue women, but I digress. Let's actually focus on what was said here. Now, it actually makes perfect sense if someone actually takes a moment to think about it, why a man would say that he doesn't chase, he attracts. Because the dynamic is quite obvious. Many women were more than pleased to say that they have multiple men pursuing them at any given point in time. So, frankly, they get to choose from the pool of men that are pursuing them. Now, for a man, it takes quite a lot of energy to pursue someone romantically, so it only makes sense that he would decide to only pursue someone after they have made it abundantly clear that they are interested in him and are attracted to them. So why would a guy pursue a woman that doesn't have any interest in him? It only makes perfect sense if you actually take a moment to think about it.
Well, the thing is, they don't think. This is just another example of men's standards being attacked. It doesn't matter what standards men set for themselves. It will always be an issue to a woman in the world somewhere. Speaking of chasing or attract, some men don't even bother with neither of them. It got to the point where they have no desire to deal with any woman. They do not have time for the drama.
You know, I just had a realization that actually most men are not obsessed with women. They're obsessed with other men. They could care less what women think. Their number one focus is what other men think of them. So women, if we were wondering why men are the way they are, is because they're not obsessed with you. They don't care what you think or how you feel. Their number one priority is other men. And if you know, you know. And yes, before you run your mouth, before you come to me, I don't know. Yeah, not all men, but most men. Most men do. So
are, of course, the old shaming tactic from a bitter woman. This is a woman who probably never had a man before. These women need to ask themselves, what exactly is a man supposed to be obsessed with? Their bad attitude? Their self-centered personality? The lack of them taking accountability? No. There is literally nothing for a man to be obsessed with anymore. Dating is just a game to some of these women. A man realizing his worth doesn't mean he's into other men. He's just evolved to not deal with modern women's bullshit.